Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of this podcast. I have not named this podcast to be honest because this is my first ever one. I'll think about the name of the podcast in the future. What's my goal with this podcast, right? Is that I wanna do this long term, not just about just for my agency or just for anything. I think in the long term I also wanna talk about like entrepreneurship, like how it is hard to really like start a business and scale a business. So that's what we're going to talk about in this call. So we have Ram, who's like the agency owner in India. We both have met before, right? And yeah, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, hey Smit, thanks for inviting me to our podcast. And yeah, so I'm the CEO of Elevationets. We help more than 25 businesses to get
Yeah.
leads and scale their businesses using lead generation.
Hmm.
So we are basically working on AI automation and lead generation.
Got it. And what niche are you in?
Yeah, we are working with several niches like SaaS, recruitment, and IT-based consulting like that.
Got it. And
Yeah,
yeah, got it. And what success, what industry have you seen most success in? Is it like particular
just
industry
SaaS.
like SaaS?
Yeah,
Got it.
SaaS. As most of the people are targeting
Got
SaaS.
it. Yeah, I had a question with that, right? Since most of the guys, even with beginners and even with like good players, are reaching out in SaaS, right?
Yeah,
Are reaching out to marketing agencies, SaaS companies. What do
yeah,
you think differentiates, like in general, right? What do you think you have to do. Let's say an agency owner wants to reach out in SaaS, but he doesn't know like what to do
yeah,
in order to pass that saturation level or in order to compete with that with competitors, right?
yeah.
What do you think? Is it like the offer? Is it like something with the clay? Is it something with like copywriting, deliverability? Like what is it?
Yeah. So basically, if we reach SaaS, most of the people are targeting the SaaS-based businesses general.
Yeah.
But if you want to target the SaaS-based business, you want to do something different from the other people what they do in that niche. So what
Mm,
we can do is, so we build our own system in Clay,
mm,
like targeting a intent-based lead. So we have a 10 to 20 intent-based system
mm-hmm.
we have in the Clay, and we sell the system not based on the paper lead
Yeah.
like that. So we are targeting SaaS based on seller system. So each industry we have each system. So recruitment we have a specific system, SaaS we have a specific system. Like
Mm. Got it. And you charge, I assume you're charging retainer?
yeah, retainer plus paper. So it's
Yeah, I
based on
think
the client base. Like
I think if I think most of the people gets it wrong, right? This is my thinking too. Like if you have the expertise and if you are really good at it, what you do, I think
yeah,
people would be happy to pay retainer.
yeah,
I think I think if you're a beginner, you don't have any case studies. I think you have to work. You have to provide any guarantees like refunds and
yeah,
everything because you really don't know like what to do. But
yeah,
if since you are have managed over like 25-30 clients, I think you have some kind of experience that you
yeah,
be able to show and people I think people would be able to see even when I like send emails people would say hey this is like a really good crafted email like we recently
yeah.
booked Bounce Pen, right? So we know
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
I saw your
Eh,
LinkedIn.
yeah, so we know like what's working and what's not. So I think
Yeah,
if even if you are even if you're not doing paper call, I think it's easy to charge retainer if you know what you're
yeah,
doing. Yeah,
yeah.
I get it. And I wanted to talk about with the delivery side. Like I
Okay,
think there's like so many things going on in the industry.
yeah,
Like 50% of the people are saying do this, other people are saying do this. Like
yeah,
what do you think with the delivery? Let's just talk about fundamentals, right? And we'll talk
yeah,
about what people are getting it wrong. So
yeah.
what are the fundamentals that we or people should follow with the delivery side?
So in my perspective, so the tech stack building is the first thing.
Yeah.
So what we do is, so we buy secondary domains and we build our own email infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
And so the delivery is based on what is the email look like. If you send
Mm-hmm.
any salesy messages or salesy thing, it will directly get into spam. Or people don't like this, they say stop, stop like that, and most of the people are throw your email into a spam box.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is, so we want to write a message, give some value to each prospect what we
Mm-hmm.
want. So that's the
Yeah.
main thing we want to do. And so that for the delivery, yeah, same thing. I So the same rules what the most of them are using the same thing. So like buying
Got it.
secondary domains or setting up inboxes like that.
And what infra are you using? Are you using Google? Are you using Outlook?
Yeah, both Microsoft, Google,
And
both.
like, what's your opinion on? I don't know if you have tested, but what's your opinion on SMTP private servers for infrastructure?
Yeah, SMTP private servers I used before, like the private server name is called Sales Coach. I think it's better to we use Google and Microsoft.
Yeah, I think private infrastructure, I think like they were working best before, but like
Yeah,
there was I don't remember the company, but they shut down their whole operations
yeah,
in one night, and all the people were complaining and everything.
yeah,
I think public infrastructure are made specifically for email, so I
yeah,
prefer like just use Google and Outlook inboxes.
yeah,
What we do is we do the same thing, 50% Google, 50% Outlook, so that
yeah.
we can also do like ESP matching. And for the delivery fundamentals, right? Do you have any five non-negotiables or three non-negotiables? Like give me three non-negotiables that you should not you should follow this step, otherwise your delivery is
Okay.
fucked.
Yeah. So the first step, so we focusing on the lead list.
Yeah,
So we only target intent based leads instead of you sending more volume. So we
yeah.
target the people based on the intent. And the next
Okay.
important step is the copy.
Hmm.
So we send the emails personalized to each and every people. It's not
Got
like
it.
a bot who's sending a message to thousands of people.
Yeah.
And the third thing is the tech stack what we use in the backend.
Hmm.
So we want to reliable on the public server. We use Google and Microsoft, and we want to send a low number of volume. I think it's
Hmm.
better, like 15 to 20 emails per
Yeah.
inboxes
Yeah. And when I say personalizing each messages for to each
each people.
prospects,
Yeah.
right? How do you do that? So is it like based on you are writing the whole email on clay? Is it something that you are personalizing, let's say a part of your cold email or a part of your copy? Like
Yeah.
how are you personalizing to each and every
So
prospects?
yeah, before we are using what we are doing is so we creating the whole email in clay.
Yeah,
But if you write whole email in clay, we did not have a correct vision to
yeah,
test each and every email. So if you write the whole email in clay, I think we get some of delivery issues. Google and Microsoft easily find it was written by
yeah,
AI. So what we do is, so we build lot of variables. Like if you see our whole copy, it look like a variable.
yeah.
Like so, what we do is, so we create each and every variable in clay, and we will compile using the syntax and using instantly or smartly like that.
Got it. And what kind of personalization you do? You don't have to share exact, like I think people will just copy and
Yeah,
everything, but
yeah, it's not like that. So what we do, so we target the people based on the intent and what are the problems they are facing.
okay.
So
Mhm.
these are the two
And
important factors.
okay, got it. Yeah, I think intent one is really interesting, and most of the people are
Yeah,
not doing it. To be honest, we recently started doing it for our M&A and SaaS clients.
yeah,
What kind of intent signals are your favorite? I'll share mine once you're done.
yeah. So I mostly prefer the job posting
Mm-hmm.
and newly hiring like that. And if you go with the SaaS, you will target the
Yeah,
competitor followers like that.
yeah.
It's easy. And we will scrap the G2 negative reviews on targeted basis.
Hmm. It's really interesting, right? Like so many
Yeah,
people doesn't know like how to do G2. Even
yeah.
I started doing like subreddit users and everything.
Okay.
Like, yeah, what do you think? Like of course we cannot share like in podcast, like we cannot share the like whole clay table, like how this is the process and everything, but what do you think G2 reviews, or like is it based on the offer of the of the client, like hey, this is the offer, and, and based on the offer we have to like scrape G2 reviews or anything like that? Is it like every like can we every time rely on this intent signal? Because I think this is an interesting one, right? But
Yeah,
if it's like a big company, like if uh if if your client has a competitor like HubSpot or something, right? Everybody's
yeah.
talking about it in the G2. Like, is it something like that, or like we can do it for every SaaS company?
So for the intent, we can do it for every SaaS company. If you have create your own SaaS, there is a bunch of competitors in there in LinkedIn
Yeah.
like that. So you can easily scrap the followers and reach out the people based on what is your differentiation like that. So you can reach out the people based on that. But if you target specifically G2, we want to target the big companies like
Yeah.
HubSpot, like the thing. So that's why we get a lot of interested messages from that. I think
Mm.
we get a lot of interested messages from G2 and job posting like that. So before that, if we target the content-based companies, we get a lot of interested messages from that.
Yeah.
But now most of the people are targeting content-based companies. So that's why we are trying to change each and every goal, and we send based on the so we send email based on that lead magnet. So the lead, so the people is interested to buy that lead magnet. That's the goal of our. If it's not, they directly get into the call.
Yeah. Got it.
So
And
yeah.
what are the lead magnets? Like, so I'd say, like, what are the lead magnets you guys do for yourself that's helping you like stand out from the crowd in the SaaS industry? I think like it's pretty much saturated. Like, how do you stand out? Like, what are you using any lead magnets or anything? If so, like, what kind of lead magnets? And then we'll talk about like how do you create lead magnets. So yeah, but first, like, what kind of lead magnets are you doing for yourself?
So for each industry, we have a different types of lead magnets. For the SaaS, we are specifically doing like the SaaS system video.
Yeah.
I will record a SaaS system video personally and will send to the interested prospects directly.
Mhm.
So it will go through the end-to-end SaaS system like that
Got it. I think like there's
in
a
a database.
controversy going on, right? Like not controversy, but I think it's like something going on in the industry. Like, hey, Loom videos are working, Loom videos are not working. Like, what are
Yeah.
your takes on that?
So what we basically do is, so if the people is interested in our email, we will connect them with LinkedIn and we
Yeah.
will find the mobile numbers and directly call the each people for
Hmm.
our lead generation system. So for Loom Media, I think it's Loom Media is
Okay. Got
better
it.
idea. Yeah.
And I have like even with me, right? Like I have seen Loom videos not working. I think I was not personalizing it, but what do you think? Why do you think people are not able to get like I think like they would be able to get positive replies, but why they are not able to get meetings when after sending the Loom video? Like people are just ghosting them. Like I have like it has been issue with me also. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to like know.
So most of the time, people don't have enough time to see that video. Most of the people,
Yeah.
they say, "Yeah, send me the video," but they don't see the video. 90,
Yeah.
80% of the time, they don't see it. So what we do specifically is, so after we getting the interested responses, we will, if the people is like to share the video, send me the video like that, we send the video and we do a follow up in LinkedIn also. So we will send. So instead of you sending just one Loom video, we will send another doc like that.
Hmm.
So
Got it.
based on that thing. So it will
So
spark to see the Loom video for what.
hmm. It's interesting. So when an interested prospect comes in, right, you warm call them, you send them like a personalized Loom video, and you also reach out to them on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's a very smart approach. We are like started doing this. Are you doing this for every client? Like not sending a personalized Loom video, but connecting like whenever a process replies comes in for your client, do you have like a system or do you like send them a connection request
yeah,
on behalf of your client?
yeah. So when the positive responses each of our clients get, we will connect them with LinkedIn using Harry. So we
Mm,
have a system. If we get a positive response in Smart Lead, it will directly
yeah.
send a connection request in Harry. And we will have a end system. So we will find the mobile number of the each person,
Hmm.
and we will give that number to our clients. So they will reach out them through calls or voice messages like that.
Got it. Yeah, I think like doing that, I think it helps you like show your expertise
Yeah,
over on the LinkedIn, right? Like if you have like even if you have like 1K or 2K followers, right? Even if you have like some testimonials and some
yeah,
videos like you showing like what you have built or what are you currently building or something like that, it increases credibility and trust in prospect that hey, these guys are like genuinely experts and
yeah.
everything. So yeah, I think what I've been doing is that same like whenever a positive reply comes in, I manually send them like a message like, "Hey, nice to connect you here," just something like that, not in cold
Okay.
DMs or warm DMs. I
Okay.
just like, "Hey, nice to connect you with there." Also, like I
Yeah,
noticed that you responded to my email.
yeah,
Super happy, something like that. And then I
yeah.
send them like a connection request, and then I just endorse them so that they know like, hey, who is this guy stalking me or something like that, and that they would see my profile. So that's the thing that I'm doing. Also, when you say like tech, like let's talk about tech stack, right?
Yeah,
what are your current tech stack? I know Clay is like mandatory, and we'll like talk about Clay later. But what are your
yeah.
current tech stack?
So we scrap the data mainly from Amplify,
Yeah.
and we use Rapid API for scrapping some of the data. And what we use for so yeah, so we scrap the databases from Amplify, and some of the intent databases we are using Figify, common tools like that.
Yeah.
And after we scrapping the data, we will enriching the data into Clay,
Hmm.
and we use Crossview to find the email. So it's Crossview is better to find emails. And we are
Hmm.
also using Lead Magic. So we have 5+ providers we are using. So we are currently testing that which is work for us.
Yeah.
In our testing, we will find Crossview, Lead Magic, and find email is work better than
Mm.
other providers. Like so after that, we are enriching the data. We will filter out the data based on the client perspective. Like that thing. So what we do is so we scrap a lead list and we will create different campaigns from a single lead. So
Yeah.
based on their job title, based on the
Hmm.
problems they are facing in that business, like that, based on the intent. So these are the things what we do. So we mainly using Clay. So for the
Hmm.
email sending provider, so we will buy a secondary domains and we will set up the inboxes from cheap inboxes, premium
Yeah.
inboxes, inbox automate like that.
Mm. Got it. And yeah, I think uh like and what do you think about Clay, right? Like, do you think like what's more important? Like people are like just so I think like Clay is important, right? Like Clay is very important tool in the GTM stack. I agree, but I think most of the people just
Yeah,
overcomplicate it. Like I think like hey, if I'm not using Clay, I'll not book any meetings or something. We had some clients in the marketing agency and SaaS niche that we were not doing any personalization. We were just doing research and finding the relevant pain points. I think the offer
okay,
was great
okay,
and the campaigns were like really good. Like
yeah,
if like we were just offering like a super like helpful lead magnet, even if we are like not providing any lead magnet, the case studies were like, hey, we recently helped this company grew their revenue by 7 million. If it's
yeah,
like 7 million or like great case study, you don't need anything like personalization.
yeah.
That's what I think, right? But what are your takes on that? Like, do you think like Clay like people overcomplicate Clay? People just are just overusing AI. Like what they should be focusing on instead.
Yeah, so the main purpose of using Clay is so there is a research team. So that's the main purpose of Clay.
Yeah.
But what people are doing is they are showing like we can do in Clay like this, we can do like this, like that, like anything we can do. But
Yeah.
so the end of the goal is how many meetings we do.
Yeah.
So that's the important thing we want to do. So if
Mm.
you do Clay this many follow-ups, this many
Yeah.
things, this many rows you will edit. But if you did not get any single meeting, so that's the waste of time and waste of money.
Mhm.
So what we specifically do in Clay is so we use Clay for researching, and
Mhm.
so the same thing we will find the problems and we find the intent. So we will combine the two things and we send the personal email.
Got it. And are you using not within the Clay, but are you using Claude or ChatGPT or Perplexity?
Yeah. So we are
Got it.
using Anthropic mainly.
Okay. And
So for creating
go
some
ahead.
variables in the email.
And what are you using for, let's say, market research? So like what I prefer, right, is that I use ChatGPT for market research, time analysis. Like, hey, here are the different ways to
Yeah. Yeah.
scrape this industry. That's what I use mainly ChatGPT for. And for Claude, I think I used it for campaign ideas, and I think I uses it for creativity ideas, right? I think
Yeah.
Claude is more creative than Claude. Is it same with your case, or you guys do
Yeah.
different?
So what we do is so we build a RAG base. So we build we build RAG in clock for each and
Yeah.
every client, and we will create the campaign ideas and we create specifically we use Anthropic for creating the email.
Yeah.
So specific creative emails, what are the things we can specifically do with this thing? So for example, if you reach e-commerce based businesses, we will talk like the friend. Yeah, my friend Smith recently buy
Yeah.
your so what are the products they are selling in their e-commerce product page? We will scrap that
Hmm.
using Clay, and we will. So it was really good to what are the values they are selling. So for example, if they're selling razors, so yeah, it's have nice to and look like Shah Rukh Khan after I using your
Yeah,
product like that thing. So we will
got
try to write an email more and more personalized to each and every person, and it's more like sometimes we are using funny words like that. So it's make the prospects to smile after they
mm.
reading your mail. You are smiling, so there is no problem to the not interested response.
Yeah. Got it. And do you send anything to not interested? Like, hey, like this is what I used to do when I was a beginner, and I still do. Is that when I would say, hey, this is not something we are interested in, we will just say, hey, is this like a timing issue, or do you think like the offer is not relevant, or you think the offer is weak, something like that.
Yeah,
And we would just say after this, this is my last email. After this, I'll not send email to you. Do you send anything, something like that?
yeah, sure. So what we specifically do is, so if the people is saying
Mm-hmm.
plainly not interested,
Yeah.
so we don't reach out the people in need. Right? So I try to connect
Mm.
them with sometimes.
Got
And
it.
so what they do is, so if they say, so this is not a perfect time for us like that, I will send, so yeah, so I know it's not a perfect time for you. Can I reach out in Q2, Q3, like
Yeah.
based on the time frame what we are using?
Got it. So it's based on their responses, right?
Yeah,
Like,
responses,
got it.
yeah.
Got it. And what do you think is the future of lead generation? Like, is it like Outlook and Google's are becoming more strict regarding this issue, regarding this cold email? Do you think like
I think inbound led outbound is a better opportunity. Is there
inbound? Can
led
you repeat?
outbound? Inbound led outbound.
Inbound
So
led
inbound
outbound.
based
Yeah,
outbound.
and then yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
for example, yeah, I one of my friends used to do this. He what he used to do is that he used to send like he used to do giveaways on LinkedIn.
yeah,
All the comments he will scrape from Clay. He had make the whole workflow. Any
yeah,
comments that anyone that comments on the post, it will automatically go to the Clay, verifies it, like if it's a qualified or not, and then they would send like a outbound email. It would be like
yeah,
warm email, right? So
yeah,
I think that's a smart approach. Like they also like providing all the so I think first it's like a great context because hey, uh, you recently commented on my post something related to
yeah,
that. And then we can pitch the services if they're qualified. And I think
yeah,
with the Clay, right? I think Clay is the best tools for this, is because like we can automatically qualify and add it to the
yeah.
smart lead campaign or instantly campaign, whatever you're using. Um, have you guys done anything something before?
Like this.
Yeah.
So we are doing campaign like this
Okay.
every.
Okay. So for your clients or for yourself?
Yeah. So both.
Okay. Yeah. I
So
think
both.
most of the
Yeah.
clients doesn't post, right? I think it depends on various types of clients. I think
Yeah.
I had a one client who had like I think 11 to 50 employees. I don't remember. He was consistently posting on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, everywhere. I had a client who had like 200 something employees. They were not posting like that much.
So yeah, so what we do is, so if we want to get more investor responses in cold email, we want to focus 80% on cold email and 20% we want to focus it on other than cold email.
Yeah.
Like they want to post it on LinkedIn separately.
Hmm.
They want to build their social media presence
Yeah.
and the landing page is good. They want to add some case studies. So before we start every campaign, we will analyzing their business, where we want to improve and what are the things we want to add. So we will do that. So it's not only the CEO or CFO post on LinkedIn. So anyone can post, the managers or post the 200 employees they have. So the customer can post. So
Yeah.
anybody can post. For example, if the 200 people in the business is just 10 people post, we will scrap the followers of those 10 people and engagers of those 10 people, and we will run the campaign for 4 months, and we will
Yeah.
generate a lot of the meetings.
Yeah, I think most of the people are just don't want to be on camera. Or they're just lazy to post the content,
That's
right?
LinkedIn post, the writing the post and
Yeah,
sending
yeah,
it.
yeah. I think like with also like video posts, right? Like I think they're like they don't want to be on the camera. Second, with the LinkedIn written post, I think they're just too lazy. Like
Yeah,
even sometimes it's like, hey, like I don't want to write like LinkedIn post
yeah,
like anything like that.
yeah,
But I think it gives you like a long term. if it's a like long term effect, like it's a compounding effect. If you're just stacking up like your testimonials, if you're stacking up all the things that you're building, all the knowledge that you're sharing, I think eventually it will come towards you. Like even if like I think this is my theory, right? Like whenever you send a good email, prospect will check out your website. If it's a bad email, they would just say, "Hey,
Yeah,
unsubscribe." If it's a good email, they would first check your website. They would then go to your LinkedIn page, and they would then come to a decision to
yeah,
even a reply or even a book a call with you. So like even to get a reply, right? I think it's more about more about social presence and showing your expertise. You can
yeah,
do through the email if you're providing like a great lead magnet or a case study. I think then it would show expertise. But if you're like in a lead gen space, it's of necessary for you to like I think have a social
yeah.
presence and post content daily. And are you guys currently posting any video content for yourself or just LinkedIn or written content?
Yeah, so we are also posting the video content on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm
And
going to post video content on LinkedIn.
what kind of content do you post? Is it like more kind of a like a case studies testimonial things? Is it more side
It's
of
an
like
educational purpose,
okay?
educational based video, like most of the videos are.
And do you leverage that like uh what I've seen is that what I do is that I send all the like I have like a web page on my website, and then I would have like all the let's say the testimonials, case studies, all the YouTube videos, and then the VSL everything. We send them like before the call so that they can look at it, and we can like pre-sell them
Yeah,
before like getting on the call, right? So do you guys do anything similar?
yeah, sure. So what we can do is, so we will create a workflow in Cal.
Yeah.
So instead of we sending a one web page, so we will create a workflow on Cal. So
Mhm.
before they are getting into call, we have a system of sending email. So instead of you sending a 24 hours reminder, 1 hour reminder like that, we
Yeah.
send a case study in a 24-hour reminder, and we send a video in a 1 hour reminder like that. So give
Got it.
some value, value.
Yeah, got it. And then, okay, now let's talk about Clay since you have mentioned that hey, like we guys are specifically like great at Clay and what we do.
Yeah,
Do you think if you're not using Clay, for any let's say for a beginner agency or no, if you're not
okay,
using any Clay, they cannot afford Clay.
yeah,
Do you think they can book calls, let's say in the SaaS industry or any like marketing agency or something?
yeah, definitely. So Clay is not 100% priority.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is, so we want to find a specific problem and specific intent, and we will
Mm-hmm.
send a lead magnet with a problem-based message. That's it.
Yeah.
So this is a simple thing, but we want to follow on each and every step correctly. That's the important thing.
Mm-hmm. Got it. And does Clay help with delivery?
Directly, it's
Yeah.
not, but indirectly, it definitely can.
Yeah. I think indirectly definitely does if
Like,
it makes the message relevant.
yeah, we will create so many variables in Clay. So
Got it. How do you write prompt in Clay? It's like one of the like I have seen so many people like would just give them like a normal prompt, hey, like XYZ, something like that. It would just be like super simple prompt, but do you think there's like specific format or there's specific way to write a particular prompt?
I mostly use Clay, ChatGPT for creating prompts.
Yeah. Like, and do you have anything
A
command
prompts
like, hey,
creating in a, I think
got
it's a
it.
better way. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
I
yeah,
say
what?
that. Yeah, sorry.
Hey, go ahead, go ahead.
So what we do is, so I generally enter the raw variables. What are the things I need, like that in ChatGPT, and I will create a specific rag on that. So it will create a prompt for each and every need. What are the needs we have? So it will
Hmm,
create a prompt.
got it. Yeah, I think what I do is that I think there's I use I don't remember the steps, but I think what I do is I give it a role. Like, hey, if I'm like let's say researching about a prospect, right? Like I would just give them like marketing analyst or something like that. And then I would say my goal, hey, this is my goal. These are the steps, this is the input, and this is how I want my output. And then I
Yeah.
would give them like, hey, these are the things or these are the things that I don't want, or don't give me in this format, only give me in this format. I
Okay.
think like when I was doing the same thing, right? But what I've done is that I have made like since I have like written many clay prompts for other agencies too apart from me.
Okay.
I think I have like what you can do also, like you can make a like Chat GPT project or Claude project. I think Claude project would be the great because
Yeah.
since because of its creative ideas. Once you are like you can just give it like your a goal, and then you would say this is how I want my format, and this is the input and its example, and then it would
Okay.
create the whole collision problem. And you can even
Yeah.
like scrape from the internet like, hey, what's the best way to write prompt using chat gpt, and then give it to Claude will refine it, and then you can paste it into like Claude project, and I think it will help you like create some definitely great prompts. I think most of
Okay.
the people, I think when I joined the clay thing, most of people saying, "Hey, this is some engineering thing and something like that." And I was like, "What the hell? Like, I'm not like an engineer or something, right?" And I was like confused, like, and then I started watching some videos. I started working with other agencies and learning from them, and then I know, oh, this is like nothing. It's nothing. Some rocket science or something. If you're
Yeah.
like just doing it consistently, you'll know.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
easily, if you want to create a project in Claude, it was so easy. It just
yeah.
takes 5 to 10 minutes to build a whole project.
Yeah, I think Claude and ChatGPT is like something that everybody
Yeah,
is
game
using
changer.
now. Yeah, it's a game changer to be honest, and especially with Claude, right? Because of its
Yeah.
creative ideas, I think it's like super game changer. I was like against like using Claude. I was like, hey, it's the same thing. But when I used Claude, I think it changed everything. I'm like, I'm making a conversation like Jordan Crawford. Like what I'm doing is that I'm making ChatGPT and Claude have a conversation with each other. So I would just research on ChatGPT. Then a ChatGPT would create a command for Claude to
Okay.
like create some camping ideas or camping angles based on that. And based on that, Claude will give me something. If I need something, if Claude says, "Hey, have a can you do like a research on this XYZ thing?" I would just go back to ChatGPT and research on that. I think it's like something that I do like once for a client, and once it's done, like all the research, I would just make a Claude project, and then I would just save it. Like it's just like one time thing, but it's like so
Yeah.
helpful. Like whenever you wanna go, like, hey, I just wanna create like a super fast campaign. Let me know like what are the job titles, company sizes, and the tech stack I'll be like looking for, and then based on that, I'll be doing.
Yeah.
Um, do you think with Clay, right? Uh Do you think writing, like I know you have mentioned before, like do you think writing in syntax is better or writing the whole email is better? Like I think like we can create like the whole email in Clay, but we can also like, hey, don't make it like sound like AI or robot or corporate or salesman. Do you think like what is better? Like, is it like syntaxing? Because many people like Jordan Crawford or Eric Noslowski are doing this, like, hey, just email one custom variable and then clearly would write the whole email, right? What
Yeah.
do you think works the better with the delivery wise? I think syntax works the best. I have tested it,
Yeah.
but yeah, let me know your thoughts.
So in my opinion, so first we will do a fintech method. So
Mm-hmm.
after we say we show the video of Eric and all these people are writing emails and Claude using Anthropic. So we are using Anthropic for writing the email.
Yeah.
So the same thing. So we use the same variable, same message, but if you use the variables in syntax, we get more delivery on that.
Mm-hmm.
If you write a whole message in the clay,
Okay.
I think it's definitely affect. In my perspective, it's definitely affect the delivery because we did not handle the each and every email. It was written like this, so we don't
Yeah,
like to.
sometimes like Clay can
Yeah,
make mistakes in the email, and
yeah,
sometimes it
yeah,
like it can forget the
yeah,
custom variable within the email copies. Like, hey,
yeah,
is there like case study mentioned, and you are just like putting the case study and using Clay to like create the whole email. I think sometimes this is what I was also seeing. Like sometimes Clay will forget. Even if I like mention like, hey, don't forget to mention this variables. Like it would like sometimes for a few of the emails, it would just like forget to
yeah.
mention the case study. And eventually, it would affect indirectly delivery because people would think, hey, this is like a spam email. You forgot to input the variable and something like that, right?
Yeah.
I think that was question about like, do you think there will be like competitor to Clay. I think like Clay is like right now the best tools, but I think more tools like Clay like are coming up, right? Like
Like
I
big
use
scale.
Persona. I yeah, like I also used Persona before, but I don't think like Persona is that effective as Clay because the output is
Yeah.
like so bad. Like what do you think of like future of like GTM tools? Like what kind of tools like we can see?
So it's very complicated question.
It's yeah, it's very complicated.
I also use many competitors like scale, like big scale,
Yeah.
persona, like that. But in forest
Have you
only one thing it's
have you
like
have you
I
have
think
you have you saw LeadsForge, like
lead.
leadsforge.ai.com? Yeah, like you can type like, hey, I want AI companies, AI SaaS companies who have recently like within past 6 months uh have like raised Series A. You
Okay,
just have to give the prompt and they will like create the whole lead list. It's just like so super helpful.
okay,
I think the CTO reached out to me and I was like, hey, this is like so good. Like I was imagining like, hey, if someone can create me like this particular thing for like Chat GPT, like I would just give them the prompt and it would create the whole lead list. I think it would be great, right? I think it's one of the best tools. I think if like I have not used it to be honest, I'm gonna use it. Like I'm gonna like let you know like how that works. I think it's a new tool, so maybe they have like some issues, but I think if like we have to use it to just like
yeah.
understand like how they're
So
working
as
and
of now,
everything.
I decided this, but yeah, if you
Yeah.
have the website, yeah, I definitely check it.
But yeah, I think there's all the questions about like the cold emails and stuff, right? Like and now since I like seeing this podcast and everything like as a long term, right? I like want to be doing this like for the next 5, 10 years. I also want to talk about like entrepreneurships and like how hard it is to like
Yeah.
scale a business. So like when I started this business thing, uh, I think what happened is that I was looking at these other people. I was saying,
Okay.
hey, like this is like easy. This is easy. Like people were saying, hey, 10K is easy. Like you have to just like work hard, right? You have to just do this and XYZ.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the issue. That's the thing. I like even if you like wanna make 1K, right? I made $500 after working for 5 months for free. Before that, I was working for 2 years for free in this. I think I was doing SMMA. Watching Iman Ghazi's video. I was doing SMMA. I had my own marketing agency with my friend. We stopped because of my 12th, because of my school. After that, I started seeing like, hey, the lead gen agency is something good. I worked with a company with the Christian AI. I started working with them for free. I was reaching out to like 20 people on Twitter every day, and
Okay.
Christian was the one who reached out to me like, hey, let's connect. We connected. I was working, I think before that, I was also working with other companies for free. Like I
Okay.
worked for 5 months for free with Christian and with other agency. And after that, I started earning. As my first income was online was like I think it was $200, and I was like
Okay.
super happy. And then next month it was $500, and I was like, bro, this is like something good. Like it took
Yeah.
me like 2.5 years to generate like $500, right? I think it's super hard to even if
Yeah.
it like with the if you even if you're like getting into this space, getting a job, uh, and then starting your own business is like super hard thing. Do you like what do you think people are getting it wrong? With like hey, like even with the beginners, like reaching to like let's say 5K, 10K per month, or even like with 1K. Like if someone is like watching the Mangatsu video or something like that, do you think like it's super hard to scale any business to 1K, 5K, 10K, however it is? Like, I think it is hard, but what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah. It's hard to make first 10K is very, very, very
Yeah,
hard to do. But if you reach out that, we will easily scale up the thing. But if you we want to grow each and every time. So the 10K, the system is different. So after the 10K to 100K, so the system is fully different thing.
got it.
So what we want to do is, so we find problem, we want to solve that problem. For example, if the SaaS businesses have the lead generation problem, we want to solve that using our system.
Yeah.
If they have a CRM system problem, we want to solve the system using our own system. So, so it's based on what we offer is the important
Mhm.
thing. Yeah.
Right. And what do you think like people should do even if they want to start something online? Let's just say cold emails, right? Or email marketing or any kind of, what do you think they should focus on to make that like first 1K 1K dollars?
Yeah. So first thing we want to do a lead gen first.
Yeah.
So what they are doing is, so I see what, so I also do the same problem before.
Yeah.
So what we do is, so we try to create content on each and everything like YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and then like that. But the important thing is how many leads we get, how many people we close. That's sort of thing, important thing.
Yeah.
Their influencers have more than 1 million followers, but they did not get also them. So the main important thing, firstly, we want to do is, so we want to increase the expertise in ourselves. Like if you
Yeah.
study play or if you run the
And
campaign, copywriting, yeah.
how do you do
How you
that? Like
increasing you?
if someone is like super beginner and they wanna like have some expertise in this industry or any industry, like I think skill is important to get
Yeah,
that expertise. What do you think like they need to do? Is it like something as I did, like worked for free for 6 months and then started like learning about everything? Like what do you think like they should be doing in order to like get that expertise, even with clay
yeah.
or anything like that?
So for the thing, so if you work for free, you can do that. We can do that. But so other than this, we can connect with the people, and first of all we want to target the SMBs mostly, so
Yeah.
they are interested to work with us for free like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we ask them to pay for the end-to-end infrastructure, and
Mm-hmm.
we will charge based on the pay per call
Yeah.
model. Like that thing, it's a better idea. So they will pay for the end-to-end tech stack. You only work on that. So after you booking a qualified call, you just charge $100 like that. Instead of you go to $300 or
Yeah.
$200 like that, you charge $50 to $100. Instead of you working for free, anyone can pay $100 for a one qualified call. So
Yeah.
I think it's a better way.
Yeah. I think for me, right, I think what I suggest to people is that if you wanna start your own thing, what you can do is that I think like hey like first get that expertise, first get the skill like how business works. By working at a particular business, I think like business is like something that's hard. Like you don't know where the next problem is coming from. One day you have like 10 calls booked, and then another day your delivery day is fucked, right?
Yeah,
And like it's something like unpredictable in business. Like I would say I learn about service delivery or like generating leads. I was not great in sales. I did not learn that part, but I think how I learned is that like I started working with the agency owners. I worked across like 10 different lead generation agencies at this point.
okay.
And like I know like different insights of different companies. Like, hey, for the Christian, like I learned about how to set up the email accounts, how to write scripts, how to scrape lead lists, the basic fundamental things. After that, I eventually increased my level and I learned new things and everything. And I think at one point you don't have to know anything, you just have to execute. And at that point, like once you have like money in your bank saved up, and I would say like save up your money because when you're starting a business, it would take like money for
Yeah,
the infrastructure, for the clay, and everything. Like do if you have saved money on the side, you can use tools like clay. Like you have the expertise, right? You have worked across. If you are working with an agency as a like let's say GTM engineer, GTM strategist, head of GTM, you're getting that money. You can use that money for clay. Even if you have a goal that I want to start my own business, that's the I think that's the simple path for you. That according to me, like everybody has a different path. I think not everyone's journey is same, but I think yeah, like first eventually we both agree on one thing is that get some skills in the first
yeah,
place. Like just don't start any random business, just get
yeah,
that skills. Just know like hey, this is the industry that I'm going after. Just have some idea on like what you're trying to do. Yeah, I think that's what I agree with that. The skills is an important thing, I think. Other than that, and why do you think like most of the agencies dies? I think for me it is they are not good at service delivery. I
Yeah,
think
definitely no.
most
That's
like, are there any other things that most that causes like an agency to die? Is it like the founder are like give up, or like is it something like that? I think most of the agencies died when there was like a Google and Outlook delivery crisis. Like 70% of the lead generation agency died. So
uh,
like, do you think what are the things that
yeah.
uh
So
mhm,
yeah, if anything changes in the market, so if the agency is die, so there is 100% skill. So if the outlook is die, so the outlook is trash, we will use Google. So if the Google is trash, we will use the private infrastructure. If you
yeah.
don't know how to use private infrastructure, Outlook, Google like that, it's a skill issue.
Yeah, I think like, and but what do you think, like why do most of the agencies die, right? Like
Service
uh
delivery.
the service
That's
delivery,
the
like
one
that's
big
the
thing.
one thing.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
And
and
any
the
and
overall performance.
mhm,
So if so we know so how many so for example if you target SaaS based businesses, they will get 20 to 25 qualified calls per month easily. But if you base the health based healthcare and niche based businesses, you so the industry based thing you will get 5 to 10 qualified calls is more tough. They get because the LTV is so high like that. But if you told them, yeah, we will generate you 30 plus qualified calls in the month, but if you don't, but if you only give them 5 to 10 qualified calls per month, it's the main issue they are facing.
yeah.
Even they give a good results, but they're already over promising them.
Got it. Yeah, I think overpromising is something that like everybody's like, oh, no, promise like, hey, we'll get you
Yeah,
like 30
yeah,
leads in the next 60
yeah,
days. Like, and I was like, bro, like even with like I met a founder who's saying like, hey, we can generate like 20 qualified meetings in the next 60 days in enterprise companies to enterprise companies. I was like, I'm not sure about that. Like, we already know like
yeah. He can
it's
do. He's amazing.
yeah, it's even hard to reach out to their inbox, primary
Yeah,
inbox in the enterprise companies because they have like so many securities and Outlook and everything. It's even like even if you're like reaching out to their inbox, I would just say you are the expert, right?
yeah,
I think, yeah, yeah, the service delivery and the over promising part, I think I would agree with that. And other thing I would say is that the communication or the reporting thing. I think if like I learned this from Daniel Fazio, if you don't want to churn clients, even if you're like providing a guarantee, just communicate with them like 3 times or 5 times in a week. There's
yeah,
like 99.9% chance that they would not churn or they would not ask for a refund. So I think reporting and communication is the one thing that most of the people don't do. I think
yeah.
oftenly, like we have a strict rule that reach out to the clients under like within 12 to 24 hours, as
Oh,
soon as possible, like within 24 hours. um and if the teammate would reach out to them, like if a client tags me, my teammate would say, hey, I'll check with Smith on this, and I'll get back to you, or Smith will get back to you, something like
yeah,
that. I think it helps like client that yeah, these guys heard me, like it's not something that they are ignoring me. Plus send them like personalized Loom video, or like weekly reports on a personalized
yeah,
Loom video that people would say, oh, like the founder or hey, the co-founder is like personally working. It's not something that we sign and they just uh, assign us to like a GTM guy, right?
yeah,
So I think that's the most important thing. Like they would feel like, yeah, we are doing something. Even if you're not generating results, just mention like, hey, this is what we have found issue. This is what we are doing to solve it.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing. But yeah, apart from that, there's nothing that I wanna touch base on. I think we covered all the thing. The one last question. Any lead generation agency that is struggling to book calls for themselves and for their clients, any any one piece of advice that you would give to them? Just one. What advice would you give?
So if they are struggling to book qualified calls for themselves on the client
For themselves.
or themselves, if they are struggling to book qualified calls for themselves, yeah, we definitely want to focus in on skills first.
I think let's just I think it's a broad question. Let's just make me like concise one, right? If someone has entered in the lead generation space, they don't have any case studies. Uh, they're sending emails using Smart Lead instantly or anything. They don't have any case studies, and they're struggling to book more calls. They are reaching out to you, hey Ram, like how, like give me just one piece of advice. What do I just focus on? Or give me one piece of advice, or like that will help me book more calls. What do you think advice you'll give?
Yeah, so what I do is, so so if I'm in the chat, what I do is I will do a work for very minimal cost to them, and I will show my own expertise like that. So I will create an end-to-end system for them, and I will reach out them, and I will show. So this is the end-to-end system we build for you. Like that. So if
Mhm.
you know the stuff, if you have a stuff, you will easily reach out to each and every people and book first three clients is easy to get
Got it. So you're
because you
saying,
work for very minimal.
got it. So you're saying just work for like minimum, since you don't have any case studies,
Yeah,
and get that case studies first, and then you can charge more.
yeah,
Mhm. Got it. Yeah, I think that's great advice. Yeah, I think everything's covered. I think I don't have any questions regarding to you, since we are like, I just wanted like chat more about like delivery and case side. I think we have already done that. But yeah, thanks for getting on the call.
yeah. Thank you, man. It's have
I
fun.
think I think I'll also like mention you when I'm uploading the short form of this when I'm so yeah. But yeah, thanks for getting on. It was nice talking to you. Hope
Yeah,
I can
sure.
see you soon, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, bye bye.